So I've been cloning one of the drives since last night. It's still cloning. It's almost done. It doesn't seem like it's going to finish. I wasn't able to get the clone thing to work when it was plugged into the computer, but in manual clone mode it started to clone, and the progress is like 95%. But anyway, I got a couple of these other drives. This one was a Ubuntu Studio, so we'll go and plug that in to our computer that's missing a hard drive right now that we're trying to clone. I think the reason that we're not able to clone it is because there is a failure. There is a bad sector or something in that hard drive, and so the basically the cloning device is just stuck and won't go no further because it cannot clone it because it's coming up onto the bad sector. That's my conclusion. It started cloning about 10 o'clock last night, and it is 5 p.m. now, and it's like at 95%. So I'm gonna let it sit for a bit, and in the time that thing's been doing that, I could have did a bunch of installs and transferred everything that I already had on there. So that was like a serious waste of time, but I wanted to try it out because I've never tried to clone a drive before like that. I did use the Acronis software that usually comes for free with some of the drives, and I cloned my I had to shrink the volume. I cloned my 1 terabyte hard drive onto a 500 solid state, and I put it in the laptop, and I found that laptop was just really too old to really benefit from that. So anyway, some laptops are just not going to benefit a lot from certain things, and desktops as well. But anyway, we need to pop this into our other computer, and we'll go over there now and do that. I'll put the media PC over here. I have not hooked it up yet. I'm going to get a smaller monitor, and it's going to sit on top of this. If I had a little bit more room, I probably could put a real small keyboard and mouse in front of it. So we got this one over here, and we're just going to go ahead and put this in here. So I'll be right back. There's really nowhere for it to set, so we'll put it right there and see if it boots. It should. I don't know if the monitor's on or not. So I'm just going to take a wild guess. This will probably boot up now with 1 stick of RAM. I don't think this computer likes this single-sided stuff. I'm having trouble getting this thing to boot. This has been kind of an issue. Maybe there is something wrong with the motherboard. Regardless, I'm not out of a bunch of money. I paid $5 and he gave me the second one. So we could totally just go ahead and pull the processor and the fan and all of that and swap the board to the other Asus board that uses the LG115 or whatever socket. So there's something funky about this one because I really don't have this problem with the other one. It doesn't really do this. What I've found is I'd have to unplug it and do a few things, maybe even reset the BIOS. But something is definitely holding it up from booting. It just doesn't want to boot. And I was faulting the hard drive, but I don't know if that's what it is or not. Although the hard drive did do strange behavior in a different motherboard that was identical. I guess the other thing we could do is also see if there's an issue with the graphics card. It'll put a PCI Express in here and just see what it does. I'm just not having any luck with it. I don't have anything hooked up. When I turn it on, it should go straight to the BIOS. Alright, we put the PCI card in here. This has got like 2 gigabytes of DDR3. Let's see what the computer does when I turn it on. Because I'm wondering, I seemed like I was having a problem. I tried to use the VGA, tried to use the DVI. And see now the stupid thing beeps and it says DVI input. So there could be an issue with the onboard graphics, but this is what it should have did, or maybe it was just a matter of like waiting and seeing what it was going to do. So I should be able to just kind of hot swap my drive. I don't know. It might show up on the boot priority. So actually what it did is it caused my computer to freeze. We'll try the reset button to see if it does anything. I don't feel like it's wired correctly or something. It doesn't ever seem to do anything. You hit the power button once. Nothing. Let's go ahead and long press it so it just shuts down. Boy, it's like, no! I don't want you. Okay. Now I'm curious if the monitor will come right up this time, or what it's going to do. Also, if you notice that the fan didn't come on, so there's no power to the fan. So we've got to turn this thing off again. And the only thing I'm thinking it could cause an issue is maybe the LAN hooked up. We turn it on again. Okay, we still have no fan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the power supply for a minute. And I'm going to wait until that LED here goes completely out. And I might even reset the BIOS. But I can see this thing still flashing back there. So let's go ahead and unplug. Where's our Ethernet? We'll go ahead and unplug it, because it could be causing some kind of weird thing to happen. Just trying to boot up over the LAN or something, who knows. Anyway, I'm coughing now that I went outside and shoveled and pulled weeds at like 90 degrees out, and then sprayed some weed stuff. It wasn't Roundup, but some other crap. I think I breathed some of it in. Can't possibly be good, right? Alright, so we've given it a little bit of time, and we're going to go ahead and plug this back in here. I can figure it out. Good Lord. Sorry, I'm doing this on camera. Is that it? These cords, they like to twist around in a direction I don't want. Oh, Lord. I can't see. There we go. Okay. Get the fan on and see if it boots. You usually hear a little beep if it's going to work. But it's just like, well, this RAM doesn't run in other computers. It's actually low voltage RAM. There's lots of things that could cause problems. But again, it's not doing anything. So it's very random. The display will come on certain times, and then I'll have it working perfectly fine for a while, and all of a sudden I'll go to turn it on and it won't turn on. And it'll just do this. Well, we might have figured out why this thing was gotten rid of. Because it's just not working at all now. So the only thing I can think of is to go ahead and just change the RAM, see what happens with that. We could have some bad RAM. I'm pretty sure the RAM I got was donated to Goodwill, and it came in a bag. So that could definitely be an issue. The other thing I noticed too is my keyboard doesn't light up. My mouse doesn't light up. So that's kind of strange. I wonder if we have like a power supply issue on the motherboard. Because we see where the fan doesn't always light up. So now it's like it shut itself off and then it turned itself back on. And still nothing else is happening. Now it beeped. Now we have the delete or F2. Okay, so we'll get this screen here. Please enter the setup to recover BIOS settings when RAID configuration was built. Ensure to set SATA configuration to RAID mode. Press F1 to run setup. Interesting, strange stuff. Okay, so maybe now we can insert our drive. and see what happens. So I put the drive in here. It's detecting everything now. The keyboard's lit up. It's reading the DDR133. I don't see any indication of anything funny. It's just what I think is strange is it says please enter the setup to recover BIOS. When RAID configuration was built, ensure to set SATA configuration to RAID mode. Press F1 to run setup. Okay, and that should just be the BIOS screen, I would guess, or maybe not. So F1 just put me into nothing, and probably because I plugged all this other stuff back in, it's probably going to do nothing. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we can see the disk. Okay. I don't know if there's anything I need to change. We'll just probably save and exit. Click OK. Because I did reset the BIOS. So I don't know what's up with this computer, but it just seems like it does have some kind of intermittent problem. Okay. Now, it'll either boot from this or it'll boot from this if it's going to boot. So it does appear it will boot from this. So it'll be interesting to see what it does if I reset it afterwards and see if it continues to reboot. I didn't care for Studio because it uses KDE, and I don't like KDE compared to GNOME. Message here. So I don't know if it's just going to fail. So basically, commands, exit. I don't know, I think it didn't work right, but we can see if the reset button will work. We can try some of these commands. I don't even know what the hell they are. Root, test, touch, sleep, shift, set, return. Yeah, there's all these commands. Okay, so I typed exit. This is what I got. Gave up waiting for root file system. Common problems. Boot ARG. Check root delay. Alert UUID. Dropping to a shell. Busy box. Let's see if we do restart. Oops. I don't know if that worked. Command not found. So what I did was I pushed the reset button, which actually did work. It's pulling up the screen. Let's see what happens. I've removed the thumb drive. It looks like it could work. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll error again. Now we got that. So we're gonna just go ahead and set everything up all over again. I don't know if there's any settings I need to do from here. It failed to boot like 6 times. So yeah, it's really just a lot easier to just go ahead and reinstall something that I know works and go from there, you know, because I didn't really care for Studio anyway. I just want to see if I could pop it in here and get it to work. So we're gonna install this and go from there. And there we go. Installation time. So anyway, guys, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Why it would take so many times of restarting and restarting and restarting. But something's probably wrong with the motherboard.